Let's meet the Martyrs of La Florida. In this episode, we're going to meet Baltasar Francisco, Don Pedro Marmolejo, and 15 Apalachee. In early July 1704, a large British and Creek force had returned to the Apalachee territory and occupied Patale Mission, where just several days before, Father Mendoza had been killed. The Apalachee of San Luis decided it was now or never to try to take a stand. On July 4th, 1704, they mounted a counterattack to try to regain Patale and expel the hostile anti-Catholic invaders. This battle took place just west of the Patale Mission and sadly became known as the last stand for the Catholic faith in the Apalachee province. Tragically, the Apalachee were soundly defeated at the battle. Many Apalachee were killed or captured. Fighting with and for the Apalachee were also Spanish soldiers. Two of the Spanish soldiers, Baltasar Francisco and Don Pedro Marmolejo, along with 15 captured Christian Apalachee, were tied to crosses and tortured for many hours. Don Pedro Marmolejo had come only recently from the garrison in Pensacola to help protect the Apalachee from the threat of the British and their allies. Baltasar Francisco, on the other hand, had lived among the Apalachee for 14 years and not only lived among the Apalachee but had learned their language. From his cross, Balthasar proclaimed the truths of the Catholic faith, preaching to the captured Apalachee, similar to Antonio Inija. Speaking in Apalachee from his cross, he placed his hope in God, saying, "The Most Holy Virgin will carry me to God with much pleasure, because I know I am going to His holy glory." This was too much for the attackers to take, so they cut off his tongue, gouged out his eyes, and skinned his head. Yet through it all, he remained courageous in his faith. The Creek had a tradition of honoring courage in their enemies by placing a crown made of parakeet beaks and animal hair on their heads. Several days later, when remnants of the Apalachee came to Patale to bury the dead, they found Baltasar Francisco's body, hanging from a cross with a crown upon his head. This is, in fact, the site of the future shrine of Our Lady, Queen of Martyrs. The raids and attacks continued relentlessly against the various Catholic missions by Colonel Moore and his forces. The next month, the bodies of the Timucuan chief from the San Pedro and Pablo mission, eastern Jefferson County, and the Timucuan chief from the San Mateo mission, western Madison County, were discovered. These attacks caused many Christian natives to leave their villages and missions and move closer to St. Augustine for protection, thus ending the golden age of missions in Florida. A Spanish report later that same year indicated that of the 8,000 people who had previously inhabited the Apalachee province, sadly, only 200 remained. Baltasar Francisco, Don Pedro Marmolejo, and the Apalachee Martyrs of July, pray for us.